Rachel, Spunky Misfit Girl here, and I'm coming to you today with part 2 of the mini hardcover junk journal, which I was trying to kind of make in the style of my larger hardcover junk journals. However, what I realized after I filmed the last video is that I messed this up. So normally with a set of book covers, which is what I use for my larger junk journals, just because I don't like having to fuss with bookboard and making them out of bookboard. It's hard to cut and just kind of a pain. So I use covers that are already attached to each other, and they don't have a spine in there because I pull out the pages. It's really just that piece of either, heavy duty paper or some kind of cloth that binds those pages together. But I put the bookboard spine inside of this one, which is not something I normally do. On my larger hardcovers, what I do is I just reinforce that flexible paper or cloth spine with some Tyvek tape and cover it on the inside with paper. And then I take and I make a new spine for the book out of bookboard, and I sew my signatures. I cover the spine with paper, and then I sew my signatures right to the spine and glue the spine to the boards. But because I already glued my spine, my bookboard spine, into the fabric, the book cloth here, I don't want to create a new spine out of bookboard because it's going to be too bulky. So this is just an opportunity to try out something new, which I'm already trying out on another journal that I'm working on off camera. So I'm hopeful that it'll work here too. I haven't gone all the way with what I'm doing with it yet, but what I decided to do is take and punch holes right into my spine. So I'm going to have a sewing that shows, but we can cover it up in a variety of ways or leave it showing. Sometimes it's really pretty just to have it showing. So what I'm going to do here is just use my crocodile, and it will go through the bookboard to punch some holes and set some eyelets in my spine. Now with the other one, only one of the eyelets actually grabbed the grommet on the other side. So we'll see if this one, we can get this one to work a little better. So this is just over a 1/2 inch spine. So I'm going to say my middle is about here. This gray is really hard to see my marks on, so I'm not going to fuss too much. So 2 inches for this spine. My middle is at 1. I'm going to try to make a nice thing that I'm going to be able to see, and then I want to be a good 1/4 inch in at least here. So I think I'll put that there, and then a 1/4 inch from the top. So we hope this will work. So the crocodile is going to go at the 1/8 inch setting, and I'm just going to punch those holes in right through my cover, hopefully where you can see me do it and I can see the marks and be in the right place. I've got what look like 2 marks here, but I've been working on so much fun stuff this weekend. It's been really fun. Oh, and it's a bit of a beast to go through the bookboard. It did work the last time though without this much. Whew! A lot of force. this little lady here. Okay. Gotta stand up. Ooh, it's not wanting to go through. Oh, there we go. Jeez. That was a lot harder than the other one. I wonder, I mean, I think it's the same thickness of bookboard. I don't think it's any different. Maybe it's just because it's smaller, it somehow needs more pressure. Sorry about how loud that is, guys. But it's coming out fine. Ooh, ah. Well, it's not exactly straight, but that's okay. Pretty close. I'm happy with that. All right, so then we're gonna set some eyelets in those holes. And I'm gonna try to get it to use the grommets. And I did actually have to use the hammer on my eyelets the last time because this bookboard is a little thick. Well, that one's gonna go through nice for me. So let's actually reset the crocodile to the eyelet setter and let's see if we can get it to grab the grommet. I'm gonna put the grommet on here, upside down. It's just a little easier. And then put this guy over the top and squish. Lots of squishing today. It did not grab the grommet, but I think that's okay. I'm gonna do all 3 of these. And then we're just gonna sew our pages right in to these holes. And hopefully we can figure out a way to make these so that we're pleased with that outside. It is kind of a big hole, so maybe I'll use, I was thinking about maybe using something like twine, like a pretty twine. Maybe this, this guy to sew my signatures in there. Okay. So this is how we're doing our cover. So I have a bunch of little pages. So this is also the Boho Blues kit from Emma Parrish, which is what I used for the covers on these. And I better keep this right so that I don't forget. This is the top. This is the front. You want to make sure I sew my pages in right side up. So I just pulled these. I measured my size. And I pulled them into Canva. What's nice about people who give kits as JPEGs or PNGs is that you can do stuff like that. Versus if it's just a PDF, you kind of just have to fuss with making it smaller percentage-wise, and that doesn't always work properly. So I just measured out the sizes that I want my pages, wanted my pages at, given my covers. Just slightly smaller than the inside of my covers, so that I can put them all onto one page and print them out and not waste a whole bunch of paper by trying to print each of these pages tiny on one piece of paper. So, or on separate pieces of paper, I mean. So these are all ready to go. And then I just cut up a few little scraps of coffee dyed paper as well that I had laying around that would fit my size well. So I am gonna put this signature together. I hope they're good. I think they are. So what should we use as our kind of cover paper for the signature? I love this lady. I used her as the cover on an envelope journal. But I think maybe we'll go with this one. I do kind of like these too. Maybe we'll do one of these. And then I'm just gonna put these guys together. Just one signature. It might end up being a little bit chunky. I don't know if I should really use all of these pages. It'd be too chunky. That's pretty thick, and it's going to be tough sewing through that, maybe. I don't know. I got so used to subbing in pencils for my bone folder because I never know where my bone folder is. I dug it out and I forget about it. All right, so let's see about this here, because we're going to need to poke our holes too. So usually the way that I do that is I put this guy up here, up against my cover where I want it, and I put markings on the outside paper. And then I can poke my holes, except for my awl, of course, is not here. I know. Some people hate it when somebody's doing a tutorial and fumbles around for supplies, but I'm sorry, that's the life of a crafter. How are you gonna get away from that? This is gonna be really tricky because these are close to the edge. I'm actually having trouble seeing my marks. So I'm poking them in from the outside here, just mainly so that I can see them better, so that I can go and use this on my inside. And I hope that's gonna work because those are awfully close. So then I'm gonna take this guy and make those marks on the inside here. And hopefully that's gonna work out for us. Okay, so now I'm going to clip these guys together and poke my holes. And I'm not clipping them to the covers because I don't need to poke holes through my cover, just through here, so that'll make it easier. I'm gonna try really hard not to stab myself, but also to get a nice hole through there that's gonna go into my book nice and easy. And if I'm gonna use this kind of bigger twine to put it together, then I need nicely sized holes here. Try to move that around. It does mess up the paper a little, but it's okay. All right, now we're gonna line those up just right with these, please. They're not quite right, but hopefully they'll be good enough. Oh, I lost my clip. All right, please. I wonder, no, then they're gonna be upside down, right? Oh, they are already upside down. Gosh, darn it. Okay, well that's good. So maybe they'll actually work better this way. Yeah, they will. Yeah, I'm upside down. Okay. Perfect. So let's get these right where they should be. That bottom one, I was afraid to go that close to the bottom, and it's maybe a little off now because of it. But let's do what we can with this here. All right. Clipped. I don't know if my holes are lining up. I feel like this is nowhere near as hard when you have a separate outside spine. And I maybe should have clipped them in here and poked through the book too, just so that I would be sure that they were in the right place. Because I don't think I'm getting them lined up exactly right here. It doesn't help that this is a super thick block of paper. I used a slightly thicker cardstock on these. Rather than just copy paper, just because I wanted them to be bulky enough to hold. It does shift, that's the thing. Maybe we'll just try it out like this. Yeah. I wanted them to be bulky enough to hold some ephemera. It's going to be a little hard with this little guy here. There we go. Okay. So that is good. That should be sewable. I think I'm just going to leave it unclipped. Get my needle. I don't know if I want to. This twine is kind of thick. I don't know if it's going to be a beast to get through here. Let's try. We'll see. We'll give it a try. I don't know if it's going to even want to thread through my needle, but these are big fat needles too. Nope. Does not like that. There we go. Okay. Now we're just going to do a pamphlet stitch here. So through the middle. Ooh. Yeah, that's a beast. The eye of the needle does not even want to go through there. Come on, we can do this. This is going to be so pretty if it'll work. All right, it doesn't work. I give up. How about some of this skinnier regular twine? That's long enough. I kind of don't want to use just regular beeswax thread the way I normally do, because it's going to show, and I just think it will be a lot more fun if it's something that has some bulk and some nice look to it, but I just don't. This signature is so bulky. I might have to go to just thread. And this does not want to go in here either, so that's probably not going to work. I've got this black. I could use that, but I don't want to use black in it, I don't think. Boop, boop, boop. So I can plan, I think, on covering it up, which is what I'm going to want to do. Anyway, probably I have this nice sky that maybe will make it an outside covering for it. So I'm just going to go ahead and use my trusty beeswax thread to sew this guy together. The other thing is though, is that these holes with the eyelets are so big. I don't know how well that's going to work for holding it. All right, so let's see. Let's find out. It's not that hard to undo it either if it comes to it, if we need to. So in from the outside, inside to the outside in the middle, outside to the inside, and this is going to be tricky. You can kind of see that hole. There we go. That's why it's helpful to not clip it, because I can kind of separate the pages a little bit. And then all the way down to the bottom and back to the outside. And then we're going to go back in through the middle. Oh, and that worked just fine, no problem. And actually, that was maybe a lot of fuss for nothing, because I'd actually really like how this looks. So I'm just tying 2 knots on the inside with my threads on either side of that inner thread there. And that is a pamphlet stitch, nice and easy. Trim my threads off to within the size of the book. I tend to like to leave them a little long. And there's your mini junk journal, and that's actually quite pretty. I don't know if I am all that bothered about covering that up. I mean, we could do it, you know? And this guy is kind of pretty with this kit and might go there nicely. Just glued on there. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know if I love it. What about this one? Or this one? This one might be too skinny. I love this though. I got this at Hobby Lobby. I need to get some more. That's kind of pretty. Kind of like that. I don't know what I'm gonna do for some kind of closure though. I didn't think about that. And that is an issue for me with my hardcovers. I need to get better about starting to think about what does that closure look like beforehand, because it would be nice to do like one of those hitch posts, but you'd have to do that before you put your end paper on. So for my cover, I was thinking about putting this cute little wolf on there. I kind of want to cut out his ears, maybe give him a background of some kind. Like maybe a white or creamy. I've got this creamy Locta paper that I might do with this guy. But we are at about 24 minutes already on this. So I'm going to call it a day. That's the making of the structure of your hardcover. That's one way to do it. And like I said, you can cover that up. You can leave it. It's actually quite pretty. I actually like this a lot, the way that looks. that is ready to be decorated and filled with little bits and bobs of ephemera, which I may or may not. I don't know if I'll do a video on that or not. It's hard for me to do that kind of stuff on camera because I have to think while filming. So we'll see, but I'm very pleased with how that guy came out. Looking very good. Don't forget to like and subscribe, you guys. Thanks so much for watching.